It's time to start Dishin Days with your hosts, Tony Moore, Michael Mattis, Justin Lee Hareld, and Araceli Aviles. And now, let's dish. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to Dishin Days, where we're serving up a full dish of this week's episodes of Peacock's exclusive #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. If you haven't already, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin Days Show on Facebook, Dishin Days on Instagram, and Dishin Days on Twitter. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching us live and in living color, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so that way you will never miss a live performance of your 4 favorite hosts. Also, you can take us along on your favorite car rides or road trip, or as you're climbing Mount Everest, or just taking a stroll on a treadmill. Yep, we're found on your favorite podcast stations. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Just type in Dishin Days and there we are. And also make sure you buy our merch. DishinDays.threadless.com has all of the Dishin Days merch for your little heart to desire. We got Meliswin, we got Possessed, we got our Dishin Days logo. And if you are ready to serve, then serve a full dish of us. DishinDays.threadless.com to get your merch, not tomorrow, but today. And also, if you are a lover of all things soaps, head on over to JLJ Media on YouTube. That's JLJ Media on YouTube. Brought to you by my chocolate twin and former co-host of Dishin Days, James Lott Jr., for all of your Bold and the Beautiful, General Hospital, and Young and the Restless needs, and original audio dramas written, produced, directed, starring, and put together by the one and only man himself, James of All the Big Lots Jr. Head on over to JLJ Media on YouTube and subscribe to his channel. All right, everybody. Welcome to a wonderful week of days. What did we think of this week?
Wasn't the greatest week, but also not the worst week.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. No, not by any means. Disagreed with some decisions, agreed with some other decisions, and yeah.
Someone was like, this week was boring. What would you guys have to talk about? I said, listen, if we can get through the Blood Diamonds and the Elephant storyline of 2015, we can talk about this week.
It was a decent week. I think the bookends were really good. Some stuff in the middle was dragging a little bit, and we'll get into that, but I thought it was decent.
All right. And
Trash.
She said trash.
Could not wait to get to heaven in between wherever the heck these ladies are so I could get away from everything else.
Wow. All right. Well, pulling it out of the trash and talking about it, let's sort through it. It is now time to start. Oh, boy. Okay. Whatever. It is now time to start
Dishin Days. Oh, I didn't see the countdown. My bad.
It is now time to start Dishin Days. The closest we're ever going to get, and I don't even know if we're ever going to see the hourglass again. Set it and forget it. All right, let's start things off with some dirty draws. We've got Xander, Sarah, Gwen, Jack, Maggie, and everybody else. Okay. First off, do we agree with Gwen's decision to Jack for Xander?
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
I'm kind of okay with it, actually.
I agree.
I thought I'd be more worried about it, but I'm actually okay with it.
I agree with Jack giving the ultimatum, and I'm okay with Gwen taking the ultimatum or whatever, or he made very good points, and I think if I would have just been like, no, if she was like, oh, I'll try to be good again. She's clearly chose her path, and it does not align with Jack or the family's values and whatnot. So yeah, I think she made the right decision. And it was very like, I feel like it was almost very like mature of her and very of sound mind to be like, yeah, I can't, it's not right for me to be a part of this family.
Tony, what do you?
She's an adult, and I feel like she made the best decision for her. I don't know if like an ultimatum needed to be given.
Yeah.
It's Salem. Everybody has done something to someone. I mean, Jack, you're no saint.
No.
And what if like people didn't forgive you for some of the things that you have done?
Yeah.
But she's like, it's with him, was it like a pattern of behavior? Was it like did it follow the same pattern of behavior that Gwen's did?
I mean, point, yeah.
I mean, I didn't watch back then, so, and I know I hear the stories, so maybe it was just since I didn't experience it.
I mean, yes, from my understanding, yes.
I mean, the whole Johnson family were, I wouldn't say they were villains, but Gwen is a Johnson through and through. She's done no worse than Steve or Jack has done when they were young, her age actually, or maybe even younger, yeah.
And not to like justify, but like, when Gwen hit the scene, like she had every right to be upset. She didn't have the full story about, why Jack didn't like, know her and why he wasn't a part of her life. But she had every right to come in and like, have that vengeance, and yeah, we all make bad mistakes or silly mistakes or whatever. But in this case, I think one of the things that keeps being brought up is, Xander kidnapped someone and someone ended up dead. Well, that wasn't a part of the deal. Like Xander actually, it was just supposed to be, okay, I'm going to take her. I'm not going to like harm her in any way. And I'm not saying like kidnapping is okay, but I'm in his mind, how he just justified everything was no one will be harmed. It's going to be like a couple of hours, give her back. I'll get money. We all go along our way. But then Bonnie came in and then Ava went off the deep end. So there were a lot of things that really he had no part of, but because he was, like the starting point of everything, the thing that got the ball rolling, everyone like, everyone puts the blood on Susan's blood on his hands and everything that has transpired. And I'm like, Ava didn't have to drive the car off the cliff.
I think if I were Jack, I probably wouldn't have given her the ultimatum. I may have asked her to like move out and like get her own place and like maybe like have a talk about boundaries. But like we've been saying, this was, I wouldn't say this. Well, this is probably the least offensive thing she's done, where she came in as an accessory after the fact, and it was really all about like, I want to help this person who I used to be involved with, I used to love. I'm not going after him romantically, but I'm trying to help him as a friend. And that's where she was coming from. And I feel like that got lost with Jack. With him, it was all about Susan died. You did something wrong. Now here's the ultimatum, where it was like, God, if you forgave her for the other things, like this really wasn't that bad. I mean, this was like something anyone in Salem, even the good people, can get sort of roped up into, is sort of like helping someone after the fact or trying to, lend a hand and understanding they didn't mean for the stuff with Susan to happen. But so I don't necessarily blame Jack, but I also was like, I was okay. That made me okay with Gwen's decision to be like, and it's also not 100% about Xander. It's also about her too. Like, do you now give into that every time you do something wrong? Is Jack going to come back and say, you've disappointed me again? Like, it's, it's a weird sort of like loop to find yourself in with your father.
Yeah, she's never going to be the daughter. She's never going to be Abigail.
No. And Abigail wasn't that great either. I know they like to rewrite her.
Oh yeah. Don't you dare talk about Abigail like that. She was a saint.
Abigail was no saint.
Yeah, she really looked saintly in that shower with EJ.
Those were when I tell you, that was some good days right there. I was Ooh.
Scandalous.
And then when Sammy found out,
Oh, brilliant.
the whole time, Justin, you were talking, all I kept listening to in my head was from chorus line, "What I did for love." Because everything she did for Xander was for love.
Yeah.
Because she
Really? Because
she loved him.
I had nothing but like old school emo music running through my head of like I would die for love kind of a thing. Like, oh
And
my
I
God,
will
you just
do anything
not
for
romantic,
love.
like, oh my God, I'm gonna die for this person, and it's gonna be like, yeah, no, gosh,
I mean,
the lack of self-respect from these people is just ridiculous.
well, now she's made her choice, but I really thought that Sarah was going to give Xander another chance.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel
I thought she until she yeah.
But I feel like there's a lot of overreacting when it comes to Sarah.
Sarah and Jack are in similar, in my eyes, are similar. We're very similar this week, being looking down on, Sarah was looking down on Xander, Jack was looking down on Gwen, and I kind of appreciated that Xander and Gwen both kind of, let them go in a way and was like, all right, you're not going to accept me for who I am, fine. And then they teamed up or got together, and I was like, okay, this is new. This isn't the same formula this storyline has been following, where, oh, do something bad, oh, I forgive you, blah blah blah. Now it's like taking a new direction, so it's kind of piqued my interest a little bit.
Now, the whole time you were talking, all I kept picturing was Xander going, "Let all of Salem be agreed. I'm wicked through and through since I cannot succeed. Sarah loving you."
Clearly, we have to get Tony to New York as fast as possible. But here's the thing. With all these characters, you've all made very valid points, about, it seemed like with each of these characters, they made the decision that they had to in the moment. It does seem like this is pretty much settled at this point. My thing is that don't care. I don't here's the thing. Gwen and Xander have such little self-respect for themselves at this point that I'm like, it's not even like, oh, you two deserve each other kind of a thing. I'm like, I don't care about you at this point. How can I care about you if you have so little respect for yourselves? And then with Sarah, yes, she's overreacting. She's like, but he said he would change. I'm like, how many times are we going to go through this stupid bad boy trope? But I thought he would change for me. Woman, it is 2023. He ain't ever going to change. What is your problem? You are a doctor.
Well, technically, we don't know what year it is because remember they skipped a year and then
they
put
it in the banner.
Oh, did they?
They put it in the banner. Yeah, they put it in the banner, and people were all up in arms. I'm like, but it's supposed to be 2024, whatever.
It should be.
It says 2023.
Well.
Anyways,
we were lied to.
Yeah, we were lied to, and it was
I just feel like
be on anybody's side in this situation.
I just feel like if Sarah truly loves Xander, a conversation, some sort of understanding. I mean, it was like imagine, well, some of us don't have partners. That's a whole nother thing. But imagine, with your partner, like you guys get in an argument and then like you drive down to the courthouse, grab some divorce papers and you're like, that's it. And it's like, but we were just arguing about the dishes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's how Sarah has been. But it just makes way for something else.
But then you think about it, it's clearly in line with Sarah. Because who did she come to town first? None other than Rex Brady, the guy who she had no idea cheated on her not once but twice.
Well, I mean,
So clearly she's not the saint in this situation either. Clearly she has some growing up to do in their relationships, which is why I hate the storyline because there's nobody to root for.
I think she was just as, it was funny. I found it ironic. She was sort of getting on Xander about not changing and his impulses. And it was like you're just as impulsive as he is. You're not to that extreme, but you're the other side too, where I agree. She does have a right to be mad at him. And that to me is like, okay, give me some space. I need to think about what I'm going to do, or I need to like work this out. But yeah, like you said, for her to go to divorce papers and then to bring it over and then to demand he sign it right there, not like I'm going to drop these off, whatever.
Take your time
later. Yeah, it was, I want you to sign these now. It was like, okay, you're now being way more impulsive than he was doing the thing that you're now mad at him about.
Right. Well, and then I also I'll say this, and then we'll get to like another moment with Xander. I like that you know, I guess in a way to show Sarah that like, yep, I'm over you. He was just like, yep, I slept with Gwen. I'm like, ooh, this just keeps getting messier and messier. But who he didn't sleep with was Leo. The way that Leo came over and was like, listen, buddy, just to let you know, gonna testify against you. Sorry. Chug. And then the way Xander switched. I mean, I felt like I went through every emotion that Leo did.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Are you sure? And then as he like got closer and closer, it's like, oh, this is about to happen. And then when Xander went and choked him, the face that Leo made was not of, oh my God, please help me. It was like are you kidding me? I totally thought we were about to go there. Like his face went from to like it, like you would think he'd be like, oh no, don't kill me. He was just like, ugh, I don't get to have sex with Xander.
Yeah. This was some like, I texted, this was some gay erotica. Like, let's the fact that like for Xander to stop it, he didn't grab him, throw him up against a wall. He choked him. Like, come on. I mean, yeah.
Or maybe Leo was confused. Like that's why his face was like, not like, oh my God, you're choking me. It was like, I didn't know you like it this rough.
Exactly. The act of choking him, not, yeah, I'm gonna smack you or punch you or throw you up against a wall, but I'm gonna choke you. Like, yeah.
But it's very reminiscent of like the banana of when was Xander and Leo. You know, this isn't their first. This isn't their first time at the rodeo.
Yeah.
And even back then, we were all like,
"Yeah, we were into it."
I'd kind of be down for this. Would kind of be down for this, just a little bit.
Yeah. But clearly, I think we can all agree we have officially arrived at the Peacock episodes.
Yes, we have.
Well,
we haven't heard any 4-letter words yet.
No.
Well, that, and also the episodes are now, they're now officially, not officially longer, but they're not one off is longer. They're all sort of around the same time.
No, but didn't Leo use asshole twice in the same sentence? They couldn't have done that on
did he?
NBC.
Oh.
Yeah, he did.
He did?
He did.
Oh.
Did not faze me at all.
Didn't faze me either.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's goes to, you know, what we say on a daily basis. But no, I heard it. Yeah.
Wow.
We've arrived. Yeah.
Well, but I also just feel like there's like some very small things, but until we see somebody's butt, then I really feel like, oh, we have definitely arrived at Peacock level.
I know I will have arrived.
We saw everything but with Xander this week. And in close up.
Oh boy.
I was getting text messages during work. I'm like, guys, you made me think someone died.
When?
When they were showing the scenes.
Oh, that was me, yeah.
Oh yeah. Look, trust me, honey, we were all confused when Justin texted us and was just like, ooh, and I'm like,
I was like, it's 10 in the morning. I'm barely awake yet.
But is there going to be like a screenshot? Is there going to be like a description? Like what? Like
Justin, I was trying to nap.
Well, let me tell you what Justin was doing.
I was very enjoying, yes, the Xander and Leo scenes.
He was rewinding and playing. rewinding,
he's doing that, yes.
playing, rewinding, playing.
But another thing that I think
Then he
we
needed to take a
mentioned this
nap.
to one of us, it may have been me, I don't know. But I like the fact that now that Gwen and Xander seem to be relinquishing themselves to we are who we are. They're now, I always liked those three as a duo. And so sort of bringing Xander into like the Gwen Leo mix now, I feel like we're going to get some good scenes with the three of them, maybe. It may not be the scenes we just had with Leo and Xander, but at least they're in each other's orbit now, I think.
All right. Well, now that we've watched those dirty draws, we can move on to our next storyline: reprogramming karaoke.
I was just like, why does he have a microphone? Why does he have a karaoke microphone? And it literally was almost sounded like it was auto-tuned. We're gonna program.
So we're talking about
auto-tune example, but
Lee, Gabby, Stefan, Rolf, Chloe,
Anna,
and the voice of Vivian.
Yes. Oh, yes.
very
First of
brief,
all-
but enjoyable.
First of all, the struggle was real. Kudos to Brandon Barash for really trying to get out of being tied up, so much so that he took off his shoe and sock
Mm-hmm.
and was able to answer the phone with his big toe.
Some good foot acting, yeah.
Yeah.
So
And I
kudos.
think that was real duct tape.
I was wondering. I'm always
you see
wondering
this
that whenever
part?
they use duct tape, is it some kind of like TV duct tape that because like real duct tape would effing hurt.
Well, but even
So-
so, the side of his face was red.
Oh, right.
Oh,
And so I was like, "Oh, something." It's even if it's not real duct tape. There's it's
still adhesive, yeah.
an adhesive that
Yeah.
something's happening. That something's in pain.
And he's acting too, so he's moving around a lot. So even if it, like you said, even if it's not real duct tape, it's still something on his face while he's struggling.
And again, this proves the point that we have mentioned before. Sometimes characters don't necessarily have to come back on the canvas, but a phone call
Yep.
is fine. You know what I mean? Like, just so that they still exist. So that way you don't talk about them all of a sudden and then it's like going somewhere. And it's like, oh, geez, we didn't expect you to pop up because all of a sudden they haven't been talking about you.
Mhm.
And I like that it was Louise Sorel,
Mhm.
that was calling in that classic voice. Stefan, it's your mother. What do we think about the desperate measures that Gabby went through to have this reprogramming happen?
Of all of the extremes that people went to this week, the overreacting and such, at least in this case, I felt it was true to form. This is Gabby being
absolutely.
Gabby.
It's Gabby being Gabby. Absolutely. I want this done. You're going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. I got Dr. Rolf back here. It's going to happen, and you're just going to have to deal with it.
Right.
Unfortunately, the karaoke mic and the suitcase did not work.
Not the game.
The karaoke.
I was like, why is he like? I just was like this.
But the gag of the nation of the nation of the gag and the gag of the nation of the nation of the gag is when he, at first it was like, we erased his memory. Then he was like, nope, I love you. And then Chloe walked in and he was like, I love you too. And I was like, I was like, well, apparently Michael Mattis was like,
I was like, of course, now he loves both of them. Great.
No, but it wasn't the I love you too moment that I was expecting, because I would have, if it created a source of conflict, that'd be one thing. But that last line where he said, how lucky am I to be in love with two women? I'm like, wait a minute, hold on.
That threw me off because I was like, wait, are we getting something else here? Like, is he like damaged because of this? Because it was the way the line
is he gonna think he's Renee now?
It was like something. Yeah, I was like, is he not completely himself now too? Because the line reading was very strange. Like it wasn't like, oh, I'm in love.
He was a lot softer. He did speak a lot
It was
softer.
like giddy and weird. It was like so
Yeah.
not Stefan. So I was like, are they hinting at something else is wrong with him or?
Oh my god.
Of course, and then the first thing I thought, and they actually said this, he was like, "Oh, Gabby," or he said whatever he said to Gabby to make us think that like he got his love for Gabby back. I was like, he's lying.
Yeah,
he's lying.
Yeah.
And then they were like, apparently they can tell if he's lying somehow. I was like, okay, but
well, that was my first thought too. Because first of all, Rolf started listing all the things that could go wrong, and Stefan was like, "Death," and so, and then after careful consideration, Gabby was just still like,
okay.
Do it. And so then when he came to, I was like, "Oh, he's totally faking." But I thought it was super cute when he was like, "Kiss me," because remember that's what she said to him.
Mm-hmm.
But before her wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Or after the wedding. Anyway, it wasn't that long ago. She was like, kiss me and you'll know.
Oh.
And so then when he said that, I was like, and then when they kissed, I was like, and then when he was like, I love you with every fiber of my being, I was like, oh. And then when Chloe walked in and he was like, I love her too, I said,
oh.
I was here for Anna. Like,
so
tie him. Like, what are we doing?
Well, I know. And then Anna's like, okay,
can we untie this man?
My reaction, like Chloe, the very last shot of those scenes, Chloe had this look on her face that was just like, really, we're doing this now? And that was my reaction to it too. I'm like, oh, really, we're gonna do this now? Like he loves both, and like, where's this gonna go? I don't know, but I'll go with it, I guess.
Chloe girl needs to be single.
Yeah, Chloe needs to. Yeah.
but she's just, oh my god, this poor woman is just like on this roller coaster, up and down and up and down and up and down for the last 2-3 years now. Oh my god, if I were her, I would be desperate to be single at this point, because it's like the whiplash alone is ridiculous.
Well, I mean, she came there to end the relationship with Stefan anyway. That's what she said to Anna.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Who got the phone call from Vivian on the house phone?
On the landline.
Some people have landlines still.
Q Araceli's going off now.
Dr. Araceli's office. Please hold.
Um,
You have 2 calls ahead of you.
But yeah, this is going to be interesting to see, like, what's going to happen with Stefan now, how they're going to play this, because I think usually what would happen classic days is, he would be like, I love Gabby, but this time he was like, I love Gabby and Chloe. So,
and will he still want to go after EJ? Like, that's the other factor that was kind of like put to the side this week. Like, he wants revenge on EJ.
Yeah.
So will he remember that? Will that still be part of this?
Who knows? But I'm gonna add to Tony's expression. I'm gonna add to it because I think Tony, you missed it. You went, I love Gabby, I love Chloe, and then turn back to Chloe and look, I get both.
Yeah, he did say that.
That was that last line. I was like, wait, what?
Wait, his last line was what?
Yeah.
You didn't. That's what Justin and I were talking about. It wasn't. I expected it to be like, oh, I love them both, kind of a thing, conflict. Yeah. But he looked back like.
I might have missed that because I was watching. When I text you guys that I was sitting down to watch Wednesday's episode, I was also sitting down to eat, and I think at some point I did like this, and then when I woke up, I saw credits, and so I was like, I don't think I missed that much.
Yeah, he was like dazed into like a state. Yeah, it was a weird line reading.
Yeah. That it?
Oh, poor Lee Shin.
Poor Lee.
I mean, listen, he thought that he was about to reconnect
Poor
with
Lee.
Gabby.
You know,
He was
Tony
just
loves Lee.
he was
That's
just
the
standing.
least
You
he
know,
deserved.
I do. Listen, he didn't do anything that ain't nobody else in Salem has done for their man or their woman. Look what Gabby knocked out Stefan with a phoenix statue, drug him by his shoe to the outside of the then drug him through the tunnels, tied him up, and then hooked him up to a karaoke machine to regain his memories.
I didn't say poor Gabby, but I'm not going to say poor Lee either.
I just have a little soft spot for Lee.
There is Lee is like one of those. He's trying to play. You feel for him because he's trying to play with the big boys, and he's just not. He's just not measuring up. You know what I mean? Like he just can't.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as he tries to be all, it doesn't work for him.
Part of me wishes they had expanded his character a little more, because it's like, okay, what now? Like, what are we gonna get? Like, I don't. We've seen the scenes with Gabby where you're begging for her to come back. We see the scenes with Wendy where you're begging for her to talk to Gabby for you. It's like there's no friends there. There's like no one on Lee's side, and it's like, oh, I wish like, they had cultivated like some friendships or some alliances or something like that. But...
Oh, well, we'll see what happens with Stefan. All right. Are we really like zipping through this?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we are, and then
right.
I'm okay with it.
Me too.
I think we're all okay with it.
Let me slow it down. We gonna get to this mess.
Tony, copyright.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so let's get to the mess. Chad.
It's not good enough for YouTube to recognize it.
Chad, Stephanie, Alex, Allie, Chanel, and Wendy. First of all,
you know we going in on this talk. Stephanie and Alex seem to get our blood boiling.
This is gonna be a long one.
Here's the thing, and it's written on the walls. Although Alex had no right to shut off the phone, him knew that something was going on between Chad and Stephanie. Chad and Stephanie knew that there was something between Chad and Stephanie. So was Alex really wrong for what he had done did to be suspicious of Chad?
Feelings are not actions. His actions 100% were wrong.
You just don't want to admit that.
No, Tony, I agree with you.
Feelings for Chad.
No, I do. I agree with you on that. I do.
She did, yeah, I understand.
I do 100%. But do you remember what else I said? I said, let Stephanie be the bad guy. And what happened this week?
But she wouldn't have been able to portray herself as the bad guy had Alex not shut off that phone.
Oh no, she still would have. Because I firmly believe this would have happened whether or not he had done that. She'd still be the bad guy. And something else would have happened. You're right, because she and Chad had feelings for each other. It would have been something else that led to the same road. I
think for me, what I would have liked is for her not to get so upset with Alex for shutting off the phone, but realize that, you know what? Yeah, you had something to be worried about, because I'd rather Chad than you. You were just the plan B option, sir. Because Chad said he didn't want anything to do with me and it was too soon. So I went with you.
That was the part that kind of annoyed me. I'd say when she said that to Chad, I was like, oh, I don't like when characters like rewrite history on a relationship. It's like, no, you were into Alex. And it's okay to be into Alex, but don't say to Chad like, Oh, you should have said something earlier. What'd you say? I had to waste my time, or I wouldn't have wasted my time with Alex. It was like, okay, you weren't wasting your time. You were
No.
dating
No.
someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of cruel. It was like, okay, now you're like kicking him when he's down.
Yeah. And now she's the bad guy.
But let me tell you, they went from 0 to 60
Yeah,
in
they wasted
3.5.
no time.
It's like
He didn't even take his wedding ring off.
He didn't.
If a man's not taking his ring off.
Okay, so I noticed this with Xander too. When Xander and Gwen started getting it on, he had his wedding ring on, and they did like a close up of it too. Yeah. And then they did the same thing when Chad and Stephanie started getting down. Mm-hmm. They made sure to show and I'm like, take your rings off at least. Like, well, you're trifling, but be a little less trifling. Actually, I mean, whatever, Chad. I'm still not okay. Like, I'm glad it moved along finally, but I'm still just like, okay, great. I'm not excited about anything going on now, and I feel like Stephanie. I am still like some are with Chloe, how she should be single. I think Stephanie should have been like, nope, I can do me. You boys can go figure shit out yourselves.
Her mother just died.
Mm-hmm.
She should not be making, big decisions at this point. And I am so annoyed with Jack right now. Is anybody else annoyed with Jack for pushing Chad into this relationship?
It just didn't seem no, that conversation shouldn't have happened.
I mean, I feel like he did that because it was almost like the permission that Chad needed to move on. Yeah. And if it ain't Abigail floating down again to be like, girl, bye, then it's Jack being like, fly, fly, little wings, and chase Stephanie.
But what he should have said was be the equivalent of be open to love again, not go after Stephanie.
Well, him being open was admitting to himself that he has feelings for Stephanie.
No. And the other thing is that what I found really annoying about the whole conversation was that Jack said there's never going to be a right time. True. There's never a right time, but there is a wrong time. And when all these people are grieving, not just Stephanie, Chad is grieving, still grieving Abigail. He's grieving Kate. Mm-hmm. No. Let me tell you something. I was drunk off my ass last weekend, as you guys.
Oh, we know. We know. We got the text messages. We got the text messages to prove it.
Yes. I was still making more sound decisions than all of these yahoos were sober. And I had a full cake in my hand. Should I have been carrying that cake? Probably not. But did I drop it? No.
I just feel like, sure, it's great that they both admitted their feelings, but I'm sorry. I know that people do not like Alex. They don't like the character. They think he's sleazy and everything like that. But when
he's grown on me. At least for me, he's grown on me.
When he opened that door and saw them kissing, the look on his face, I literally went, oh. Aww. And I knew that was going to happen. The second I saw that door open, I said, typical soaps. The person who is not supposed to see them doing whatever it is they're supposed to do behind closed doors is going to see it. And then poor Alex, he opened that door and he said, and then he just left the little flowers and the note by the door. Now, if I was him, let me tell you how I would have did it. I would have opened the door, saw them kissing, and said, here's your flowers. Here's a note. Have yourself a good day. And just left.
I would have slammed it behind me, came in and then slammed it so they noticed it and been like, oh, yeah. So nothing was going on between you two. I was crazy.
But also, I was like, Stephanie, you at your parents' house.
Yeah.
he was still there the next day with your brother waking up to have a cup of coffee, with your daddy offering to cook him eggs. What kind of stunt shows and shenanigans is happening in Salem?
And this is even more amplified because of the fact that Steve didn't raise Stephanie and he wasn't there for her entire childhood, so he didn't get the benefit of those awkward teenage years kind of a thing.
So now we just move on to awkward adult years.
Yeah, I'm like, isn't the guy going through enough? I felt like I was watching like with Roman last week with Sloane, with Steve this week with Chad and Stephanie. I felt like I was watching. I'm like, you guys realize their wives just died. They're already dealing with a lot. Do they really need to be dealing with all of this other extracurricular activities y'all got going on?
I will say I did think it was cute when Chad was sort of nervous around Steve now that he had slept with Stephanie and was like, I think he said Mr. Johnson or something, and then later had said Steve, but it was just very much that.
Well, let me ask you a question, Justin. How would you feel if you had woke up in the morning in your parents' home with Trade on your arm?
Honestly, he would have been snuck out before, or listen, you stay in the room, let me check, make sure the coast is clear, and I'll come get you. Don't make a peep, don't say nothing.
Just head straight for the door.
Yes,
I
will get you when the coast is clear.
I'm like, geez, Louise, I mean, how awkward is it? Like, because I think Steve even said, "Oh, like it's been some time, but I think I still no." And I'm just like,
I mean, Steve was as cool as you can be about it. I mean, she's a good adult. I mean,
not in your parents' house.
No.
Well, for me, it was more that Kayla just died, and that's still in the air. I don't care about the parent thing because where else is she gonna? I mean, listen, they're not going to go to the Horton house. That would be weird. Or I mean, they could have gotten a hotel, but
well, granted, yes, she has died, but it has been weeks, as she said in heaven.
Right. Well, then it's fine. Then
no, it's still not. Just leave the widows alone.
But I feel like they're definitely gonna make Chad and Stephanie something because they got a song to when they did it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so did Stephanie and Alex. You know,
with the worst lyrics ever.
Listen, they can't pay for music anymore, so you have to get
no. But the lyrics were so like they were trying to be too on point for this particular storyline.
Listen, you got to get singer-songwriter from down the street at Burbank because you can't pay for music.
I'm not saying that it was a bad song. I liked the song, but the more I listened to it, I was like, this is really pointed. This is like trying to be so on point with this particular couple.
I just saw someone say that Alex didn't do the flowers from the heart. Y'all really think that Alex is just horrible? He's not. He's. I don't think he is. And we all can have opinions. I don't think Alex is a bad guy, and I really do think he feels horrible for what he did. But there's also a part of him that is like, I know what I did was wrong. But if it was anyone else that was calling, she would have got that phone call. It was the fact that it was Chad. That he was just like, no, dude, I'm trying to have a moment with my girl. You have already interrupted once. You're not going to interrupt again. And I still feel like this hatred towards Alex wouldn't be so thick if it didn't result in Kayla's death and Stephanie missing the chance to talk to her mom one last time. If it was Chad calling and being like, I stubbed my toe, we would be like, you still shouldn't have turned off the phone, but Chad, did you really have to blow up her phone for that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like people like equate like, oh, like Alex killed Kayla or something like that. Like,
right.
No, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
No.
It's not that deep. But at the same time, I'm still never gonna excuse his actions, but at the same time, I was like, let her be the bad guy. Just don't better to let the other person be the bad guy than to let your jealousy overtake you. And what happened? He was the bad guy first, and I'm sorry, she can justify it all she wants, but no, she's the bad guy now too. She had some guilt on her face when she read his note, and rightfully so. She should feel guilty. People's actions. People are not defined by their one worst action.
I have to get clarity on this text. Mama.
What's Mama Moore saying?
I still just love that my mom will not get in the chat. She just texts me. So I never know, because there's a delay, so I never know what part like she's commented on. I just look down and all I see is a text that says, "Your ass will be grass and I'm the lawnmower." I have no idea what she's talking about.
No, I believe what Mama Moore is referring to is bring someone in under her roof without her knowledge.
Oh.
Which
I would probably
thinking back. Agree. Wait, we don't need to go there, Tony. You don't need to go down moving on.
So, what is going on with Allie and Chanel?
Lord have mercy.
These two. Then we have these two.
I don't.
Just break
like the immediate jealous reactions out of these two. And this is another couple where I'm just like, they shouldn't be together. There's too much insecurity. There's too much jealousy. They just need to done. It's toxic. It's the immediate jealous reactions from something that, for all they know, could be innocent given situations. It's just annoying. And yeah.
And they were almost there. They were like almost there, and then the underwear.
But then, okay, the other thing about where Alex's underwear was, I was like, was poor Wendy sleeping on those?
Yeah.
That was a weird thing. Yeah.
I was like, did she not feel like
she thought it was the blanket.
Also, how did they end up out there if the idea was he slept in the office and he sleeps naked? Like, that made sense to me. I was like, okay, whatever. He just
Allie has an office?
He stripped as far down to like he stripped all and then went into the office.
Yeah, remember a couple of weeks ago when or like last week when Chanel and Allie were like, we should sleep in separate rooms, and she's like, what, you're gonna sleep in the office?
Yeah, I remember the office being established before.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird at the time, but I was like, oh, okay.
But first of all, if you got so drunk and you're staying the night at somebody's house, I don't care what you do at your house. You're not about to do that at mine. So if you sleep naked, guess what you about to do tonight? Sleep clothed.
Alex can.
You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. You're not.
Oh, I can just picture little Henry finding it and putting it on his head, and oh my god,
that would have been cute. That would have been cute. That would have been a better scene than her just randomly picking him up off the couch.
It's just no. Like, clearly, y'all need to be single, all of you. You have no earthly idea what it means to actually be in a monogamous relationship, because all of them, because everybody keeps overreacting, everybody keeps getting jealous, everybody keeps sleeping in different places, with underwear, without underwear, drunk, sober, and just sleep in your own beds.
Have you noticed your decimal level went up 10 octaves? And I'm trying to figure out who has raised. What happened?
I'm pulling my hair out with all of these people, especially little Sammy Jr. Oh my God. Why Marlena didn't get an immediate like all access pass to heaven, I will never understand,
Because of her
because
kids.
just trying to get through Sammy's teenage years. He should get an all access pass for that alone. Had I been watching, I wasn't watching Sammy during Sammy in the 90s.
Her teen years?
Her AKA Terror Sammy. I think I would have been tearing my hair out.
You would
and
have.
Now Johnny was right last week. If it walks like Sammy, and it talks like Sammy, and it throws a temper tantrum like Sammy, and it points fingers like Sammy.
I mean, listen, I feel like this. This is how heaven should go. You go up there. Hi, Marlena. Salem, right? Going in. Hi, Kate.
You're checking the sheet, yeah.
Going in. Because Salem has been hell. You mean to tell me that when I go up there, you gon' check out? Listen, Peter, Paul, whoever is at this gate. You saw what I went through down there. I think I am covered to come up here and just rest, because you're not gonna put me in hell, because I already experienced that. Do you know how many kidnappings I've been a part of? Do you know how many times I died and then came back?
I was kept in a cage.
I was shot
room.
at. Like, I was locked up in a secret room. I've had people impersonate me. I would move, push my way through.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired. Where is my chair and my cocktail?
Oh yeah, mocktail.
Glass of wine.
I laughed when they said mocktail, when the fake Susan said mocktail. I'm like, what? No. Why are you denying me something I want?
Oh wait, we got off track. Sorry.
I know. I'm sorry.
Allie and
Sorry.
so
These people are a mess.
I mean,
these people are a mess, and Wendy is too nice.
First of all, y'all were complaining about Wendy sleeping on the couch, but let me tell you, she has got a sense for tea. Because Wendy was sleeping like this, and then Allie and Alex walked through, and when Allie turned around, Wendy said,
"What's happening?"
Because that's exactly how I would have been. I would have been like this, ear hustling, and then as soon as that door closed, hey girl, what's tea?
Yeah. And I know that maybe Wendy feels like it's not her place. She kept saying things like that, like it's not her place to judge and things like that. But I feel like she stayed on Allie's couch long enough to have an opinion.
Yeah.
Especially when Allie starts interfering in her life, like she did at the end of last week.
Yeah.
Like trying to warn Wendy, and she continued this week trying to warn Wendy off of Johnny. I feel like she was way too nice and should have been like, and who are you to tell me about my life choices?
Yep.
When I just saw what's his face walking out without boxers.
That are right over here.
Mr. Commando over here walking out of here at the crack of dawn,
flopping around everywhere.
And you are, and you're trying to lecture me about my life choices?
Capital MESS, mess.
And can we just, I really, really need somebody to call out Allie specifically on this good twin, bad twin mentality that she has. That I think might annoy me the most about her right now.
I think Chanel and Johnny have been looking at her like, what is your problem?
It's like every valid argument that she has, like, because Paulina was advocating on Allie's behalf, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
And she was really trying to make, Chanel see that she made a mistake. She hurt Allie's feelings. But then Chanel goes and apologizes. And I feel like that was a valid conversation. And then it just turned. And Allie's default, it seems like that's always Allie's default, is that everybody else is wrong, specifically when it comes to anything involved with her brother. And I'm like, what? I'm just trying to think, like, what specifically did he do to her to earn that title? Because because I see in the chat, sometimes I see in chat rooms or on social media, like, people say, like, well, Johnny's a loser, blah, blah. I'm like, but no, give me an example. Give me a solid example of not a shenanigan, not some random thoughts or random thing he said. Give me a real example of when Johnny genuinely wronged Allie with the intention to hurt her.
Yeah.
No.
I don't
We're at a
know.
loss. I just feel like, a conversation, not over cereal, because we saw how that happened, just should happen between the two. Or, maybe just be honest. We're done. I don't know. It just seems, again, a lot of like overreacting.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then this whole thing now with Allie and Alex, I'm like, Days has really like taken the hourglass and said,
Everyone gets a new partner.
right. And now I'm just, and now I'm like,
They're like, we got Trip back. Now we can mix this up again.
Yeah, it's like, okay. Let's break it down. We got Wendy, Trip, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Chanel, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Allie, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Although Allie and Chanel are still together. You got Chad, Stephanie, Alex. Girl, that's a lot.
And 90% of them are all related.
And 100% of them should all be single.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to advocate for companionship.
I would like to, if they were not sleeping in other beds but their own.
All right. Well, did we finish talking about all that mess?
Yeah.
We did. Well, now is a fine time for me to remind everyone that please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You're already on it. Or if you listen to us on the podcast, go do that and follow us on social media. You just saw all the clicks. And guess what? Go buy our merch. Yeah. All right. Let's get into some tidbits. I always feel like I say tidbits, but it's been a while since I've said like what tidbits is. Tidbits is just things that happen in the show that we don't know if it has a huge significance yet, but they aired it, so we got to talk about it. So we are talking about
Dramatic pause.
heaven or wherever they are.
We need them to come up on screen. Michael Mathis comes up with these really good titles, so we need,
Well, Michael Mathis, that's a no for you.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. So here's, I've been seeing a lot online that people are like, ugh, the devil storyline. For me, I actually think it's fun and it's also smart because there's a history with the devil and Marlena. Marlena is now, in betweenst, right? So of course the devil is gonna like swoop in to try to like finish what he started with Marlena 25 years ago. Ain't been me.
Okay, get down. He said hi.
I mean, I just wish that like when the door opened, you just heard the devil go, "Hello, Marlena. Welcome to my world."
That's the devil's now. It's not Sunny and Will's anymore.
The devil's theme song.
Well, what did you guys think about everyone's interaction with someone? You had Kate, poor Kate. Kate was the only one that couldn't make it up to halfway heaven. She just went straight down
Man.
to hell. But I thought it was a nice surprise that it was Jordan there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's a part of me though that kept thinking, and I don't know if this is even right to do, and may he continue to rest in peace. There kept being a part of me that kept thinking like they would get someone whose hand looks like Stefano's and would wear the Phoenix ring and would be in the in a chair and just swivel around and just say, "Hello, Katarina."
But the thing is, Stefano. Wait, can you remind me? Is Stefano dead?
He's dead.
But
Yeah.
yes.
He's officially
Yes.
dead. Yeah.
He was officially okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember because I couldn't remember if they wrote that or if he was still like just out there on the run. So he's dead. So it could have been Stefano. I was gonna say it needed to be a dead person, but if Stefano's dead, then yeah, they could have. But I thought Jordan was a good character for the one to judge Kate because at least of recency, she's probably the most familiar to anybody. So yeah, I liked it, and she did, and Kate did do Jordan dirty. Like let's But the one thing I can't remember is what all Kate knew about the Jordan Clyde situation. And if she found out on her own or if Jordan was trying to tell her, or because I do remember watching it back then and just being like, all right, Kate would not stay with this guy if she knew that. But now I can't remember how she found out.
I think I love that they kind of revisit that. And I think from my understanding is yes, she tried to like bring Clyde back, I think as a way to like get back at her, but she had no idea about like the history.
Right. But then when
why
she did
she was
find
on the run and
out
stuff.
But then I'm trying to remember, like, did she know the full story about the molesting
initially?
And everything?
No.
Not initially.
No.
I'm saying like after a while.
I think after a while, but then I think when that came out to us on screen, I think Kate didn't believe it.
Okay, that's what I was kind of thinking too.
Like she actually mentioned that she still had a little bit of dealings with Clyde, but it wasn't like before. It was sort of like this came out and it was like, is she lying about it? Is it true? Yeah. And then it was a little bit of a teetering, but it wasn't like I'm on Clyde's side against you or I'm, it was like she was teetering off from Clyde at that point, but it wasn't like a hard stop. Like you did this to Jordan. I hate you. Get out of here kind of thing. Yeah.
Who else was there? Kayla with Adrian.
Yeah, that was cute.
That was someone posted. I think it was Days of Our Lives Classics or something like that on Instagram that posted this picture of Mary Beth and Judy as Kayla and Adrian, and then I think it was from like back in February of 1987, and then February of this year. I thought that was nice, and Judy left. Oh, Judy looked so great, and it was nice to revisit that.
They really do a good job of differentiating Judy as Bonnie and Judy, and Judy does a good job of like the different personalities. But even the way they like present her and dress her and makeup and hair and everything, it's literally like you forget they're the same actress.
Yeah, and I love that Marlena had that moment with Susan of like, I want to see, the rest of the people who have passed. I want to see my son DJ. I want to see Sean and Carolyn Brady. I want to see Tom and Alice. Like just naming all the people who probably like should have been at the gates, like her twin sister Samantha.
For me, I love the DJ. Whenever they mention DJ, I always like, that's the one that got me when she said DJ. Because she doesn't bring him up in the storyline. Doesn't bring him up a lot, but
right.
It's like that part of Marlena's life is kind of erased. I mean, we don't have Dawn, which bring back Dawn. Like they don't have Dawn on the show anymore. Not many people who were around back then are on the show anymore. So
I'm just starting to think that these chicks aren't really dead.
I don't know, because when Kayla was like, "I've been dead for weeks," I'm like, "Girl, who just left you?"
But
like,
they think they're dead. This is all taking like I feel like this is all taking place like in an alternate, not an alternate universe, but like kind of like how was that?
It's like a weird Inception thing or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That
Yeah.
those bodies are being kept alive somewhere, and they all think this is it's very almost like if you watched Don't Worry, Darling.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone? Did either three of you watch Don't Worry, Darling?
No, because I wasn't worried about it.
No, I'm with you. I think this is like some sort of alternate, reality that the devil is masking for them to
exactly. Yeah.
in or something.
Yeah. So then, so like to answer the question, where the F are they? We don't know who the heck revealed themselves at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
We don't know. There's a lot we don't know.
Yeah.
Who do you guys think at the end we're gonna see?
I already know
we're gonna see a guy with a
pitchfork.
It's gonna be someone they know, someone that they recognize. But I was like, okay, so who's playing the devil, or are they gonna show the devil as someone else?
Well, Justin, your question will be answered after segments and news and gossip.
Oh, okay.
But even
they spoiled it in the promo who it is. Yeah.
I mean, but then like how they used Jordan and Adrian, then I was like, okay.
Don't read the chat if you don't want to know.
So I saw devil eyes, but then I totally so I saw devil eyes in both Jordan and Adrian, but then I was like, well, that'd be total, but that's still totally in line with Jordan. So then is that really Jordan, or is it the devil playing Jordan? And then so it's
the devil's playing all of them. The devil is playing Susan. The devil is playing Adrian. The devil's playing Jordan.
It's just
this is all the devil, or it's Dr. Rolf with his karaoke machine dictating everything.
Somehow I think that Dr. Rolf he would be stumped by this one.
I think I don't think that I was joking. I don't think this is Dr. Rolf. No, this is all the devil.
Yeah.
But I wish that people did like this more. I know that a lot of people are not a fan of the devil storyline, but I just wish that people would just enjoy this a little more, because I find it very interesting. Like when it took them until Friday to even get back into heaven, I was like, oh, thank you. Like I really want to see like what's happening and like what's going on. Like I find it interesting when they do something like they didn't just kill him and it's like, okay, that's it. It's like they've all been in heaven. They're all trying to figure it out. They're all in the in-betweens. They all look great in white. Although there was a part of me that was like, well, when Kate walked down in the in-betweens, hell part, like why didn't she transition into red or a different color? Like why are her and Jordan in halfway hell in white?
Yeah.
Well, they shouldn't be in red if they're only in halfway.
Well, then give me
like
me
yellow,
a few
maybe
shows.
Like a yellow.
Lower.
See, these are all the things that we don't have answers to.
No. Because it would have been great to see like Kate in white, and then as she stepped down, another like red like Kate pantsuit with like a fur foxtail or something, something very Kate. Instead of a blue
Kate,
instead of a blue streak, she has like a red streak, something like that. But I don't know. Do y'all find it interesting, or is it just kind of like?
I want to know where it's. I want to know.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know what's happening. I want to know why. Like we have our theories, but I do want to know. I do want to know what this outcome is going to be. I still feel like it's leading to whatever they're going to do for Deidre Hall's 5,000th. Like I feel like that is going to be like the kind of climax to this whole thing, and then, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I thought it would be kind of interesting if each of the women were going to get like their own dedicated episode or something. If that could be in the cards, or because all three women and characters have been around for
decades.
Lot of
Forever
content to
and
be.
ever, they've been on your screens, and they will love you forever and ever.
So we'll see. But yeah, I'm down with it.
Can you imagine if they found the orchid in heaven? The orchid died too.
Did you hear about the orchid?
Dead.
I can barely keep up with the rules or whatever the way they are. Can we not make any up yet?
I mean, they're just making their way downtown, walking.
Brain hurts.
He's passing them homebound.
You're gonna get us so much copyright trouble, Tony.
Nah, it's under 20 seconds. So they'll be fine. At least I hope so. And then random, only a couple in the Brady pub, and Steve's like, gotta go. Take your egg. I'll pay for this. Hey, come back for another free meal. Gotta go. And
Oh,
I'm
the
like,
glasses on Roman. Take your orange juice.
Yeah.
with you. Roman's like, what the hell are you doing?
and I'm like, and even me, I'm like, what's going on? And you know what? Kudos to Drake Hoxton. Because John was sitting over there with his little cup like,
in the corner.
yeah, buddy, I can tell that this isn't a meeting about funeral arrangements. And I'm like, I like it. But Steve comes up with a plan to kill Orpheus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I
Bless his heart.
I find it interesting that he says this after Kayla goes, you know, with tragedy, Steve goes to a dark place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And here we are.
I did like when John pointed out that when Steve originally wanted to kill him, he talked him out of it, and then he was like, "Now look."
No, he wishes he wouldn't have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Valid.
All right. Well, that was that, and then Trip's upset with. Wait,
About
Trip's
Ava.
upset. Oh
He's
yeah.
upset about Ava.
Yeah,
I like that. I mean, I like that Wendy is there for him.
Mm-hmm.
But Ava is going through it over there in Bayview.
Yeah.
He was just like, she was just staring out there, and I'm just picturing Ava like,
Yeah. He's still
and that's it on that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's get to our favorite part of the show, which are our segments, and we're going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award.
Oh, snap!
Okay, so listen. The best way that I can describe this is when someone gets upset and you think you have to talk to a higher up, but you don't know, you're already talking to the person that you need to.
The highest up.
Hit it.
So who's going to judge my case? Oh, let me go get them. Oh, that'd be me.
She said, "It's me. Hi, I'm the judge. It's me."
That's one of the very ones. So, my 3 Snaps Award goes to Chriselle Stouse, Jordan Ridgway, for being like, oh, Kate, you need to talk to your judge? It's me. Hi, I'm the judge. It's me. You get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award.
Oh, snap!
All right. And now it's time for
Caption that.
All right, this week's Caption That Photo comes courtesy of Chanel and Allie and the camouflage underwear that Wendy was apparently sleeping on. And this week's caption goes to Brian Miller on Instagram with his caption, "You can't just turn your underwear inside out and say that they're clean, Allie."
Oh, some nasty people do that. Y'all nasty. Yo, nasty, dirty draws. Can you imagine all the stuff that your draws caught on the outside are now on you? Just saying.
Caption that.
I feel like, you know what I feel like? I feel like people should send us screenshots of us during the show, and then we ask people to caption that.
Oh God.
Oh, it's probably coming.
Yes.
Dylan.
3, 2, 1. Yes.
Oh, I'd already kind of warned him I was going to go off today.
Oh boy. Well, and that you did.
Mhm.
That you did. And now it's time for
Those were the days.
Okay, I'm taking you back to February 3rd, 1986. This is the moment when John first met Carrie. And I picked this for two different reasons. One, it's sort of became the predominant relationship for John, because this is right before it sort of, what was that? I don't know. But
It was Tony.
I'm sorry. My mom text.
Don't blame your mom.
It is her.
this is right before Marlena leaves. If those of you remember, Deidre Hall left to go do Our House back in the day. And so we didn't have Marlena and John. And it was sort of John and Carrie against the world, kind of raising Sammy and Eric. Also, this is who we don't get to see and we don't talk a lot about, but this is Andrea Barber. Many of you know as
Kimmy Gibbler
from Full House. She was the original Carrie. And yeah, I always like to just spotlight her. We don't get a lot of scenes with her. She wasn't on it for that long, but yeah, she was like very much a precocious Carrie back in the day. So yeah, February 3rd, 1986, when John first met Carrie.
And
Those were the days.
and now it's time for
It's a gift.
And this week's It's a Gift goes to Gabby and Stefan, realizing that maybe they have bad risk assessment skills.
I will say Camila and Brandon are always pretty in sync with each other for this has happened a couple of times where they've had to like talk at once or whatever, and they're always on it. They work really well off each other. It was a good moment.
they do. And that was
It's a gift.
and now it's time for
News and gossip.
We are starting off with something very fun. I urge you after our show is done. If you have not seen this video, go and watch it. It is a video of Never Have I Ever, starring three of our deceased ladies, Deidre Hall, Mary Beth Evans, and Lauren Koslow. This is hilarious for many different reasons. If you've seen it, you know. One, some of these actresses do not remember their characters very well. And repeatedly get stuck on a few questions. Basically, they're playing Never Have I Ever, and they're using the history of the show in different scenarios that they may or may not have been a part in. Go watch it. The chemistry between them is just phenomenal. It's also very funny. And there's a little bit of a hint there that they I won't reveal it, but there's a little bit of hint about what's to come with these three ladies. So go see if you can spot it and check it out. But yeah, it's a fun video on Day's YouTube page.
Next up, congratulations are in order for our very own Lamone Archie ex Eli. He is engaged to his now fiance, the lovely Kristen Terry.
She's pretty.
She's beautiful. And check out that ring.
yes.
All right, so that looks like a Marquise cut single band. I can't tell. I think it's a gold band, but I can't tell from this side. With it's got to be. I think that's at least. Yeah, that's at least two carats right there. It's beautiful.
All right, anybody, you need your jewelry. Araceli, part-time jewelry appraiser.
My grandfather was jeweler. I know jewelry.
Oh, okay.
No, I know the cut and everything. But no, and I usually don't like that cut, but just because of the way that the band is around it, it's kind of got like a shadow behind it. It's really, really pretty.
Interesting.
Gorgeous. Right. In other words, well done.
Well done. You did good. Yeah.
You did good. I don't usually like that cut, but you did good.
Nice. Yeah. Well, congrats to them.
Yeah. Next up, we have a few fan events we've been telling you about. The first one is Eric Martov once again joining with Rick Springfield and doing an event in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. This one, October 5th through 9th. We also have some Starstruck fan events coming up. This one was announced for Atlanta, March 11th through 12th. It's Eric Martov, Matthew Ashford, Mike Manning, and Brandon Barash, along with some other actors not affiliated with Days, but yeah, we have those 4 from Days. And last but not least, April 15th to 16th in Morristown, New Jersey. This one hosted by our very own Mr. Tony Moore. That one has Billy Flynn, Eric Martov, Zach Tinker, Greg Rickard, Dan Furgo, Carson Boatman, Teo Penglis, and Leanne Hunley. All tickets and information, go to starstruckfanevents.com.
And next up, we have ding, 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 us. On Wednesday, we have our Dishin Days 8th anniversary celebration. This will be a happy hour Q&A with us.
Yay!
Us. Catch us this Wednesday, February 8th, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time via Zoom. Tickets are $15. Tickets are still on sale. Will be continue to be on sale. Please email us at dishindays@gmail.com for details and tickets.
And you never know who may pop in to say happy anniversary to us. So if you miss out, you're gonna miss out because there's no recording it and we're not posting it. It's gonna be a good time because we're gonna have cocktails, wine, and mocktails with you. So don't miss it. Come celebrate because not many podcasts last this long by themselves.
Did someone forget to get Tony a karaoke machine for his birthday?
I did. I lent it to Dr. Rolf, yeah. Michael Madness. All right, and that has been...
News and gossip.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to see what is coming up exclusively on Peacock with Days of Our Lives.
I told him I loved him. There's still something going on between you and your ex.
You could crash in my bed. Underwear optional.
I will never want you again.
I can take care of myself. Thank you very much.
Each of you has just sold me your souls.
We demand to talk to your boss.
Not a carrot.
And he's going to do the... It's me.
They should do that again. Well, there you go, Justin.
Well, now we know who...
I had seen not a clip of that. I was spoiled online or whatever, but I completely forgot he was going to be there. Yeah.
I think it's fun. I wish Days. I mean, I shouldn't say that. You can like and don't like whatever it is that you like and don't like. Everyone has that option, but I think it's fun. I think it's fun seeing these characters for a second. I think it's fun. It's a fun storyline. So
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
I find it hilarious that Nick is probably the only Horton in hell.
It's him. Hi. He's in hell. That's him.
He's the Horton in hell.
Okay. Well, everybody, that is it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another wonderful episode of Dishin Days. We will be back next Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, to give you a full dish of what's happening this week on Peacock's exclusive Days of Our Lives. But before we head out, we encourage you to follow us on our social media platforms. Dishin Days Show on Facebook, Dishin Days on Instagram, and Dishin Days on the Twitter. But you can also find your favorite hosts on social media platform or forums. Michael Mattis, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at MLMattis.
Justin, where can they find you?
Find my Instagram at Justin Lee Hareld.
Araceli, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Tia323Araceli.
She held that just so I can say, Araceli, where can they find you? She was just
Yes,
like,
I did. You finish
so I'm not gonna get a where can they find you can find me, old chocolate me, on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And until next week, stay safe, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you back right here to give you a full dish of this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives. Bye, everybody.
Bye.